Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be very intense because I am going to be talking about my favorite product from each of the top 50 brands that are sold at Sephora. Now there are a lot more brands at Sephora than the ones that I'm mentioning today, but I really just wanted to talk about the ones that are the most well-known, and maybe in the future I could do another video, like a part 2, talking about maybe like the lesser known brands at Sephora. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see this. And I also was thinking of maybe doing my least favorite products from the top 50 brands at Sephora. That could also be a really fun idea. So the products that I am choosing today really are like the star or standout products from the brand in my opinion. Obviously this does kind of change and shift as new products are added to the lineup or as my taste change. This is kind of just where I stand at the moment, but these are products that I definitely believe in, that I love. That's it. I'm gonna cut the intro off now because this video is gonna be long enough, so let's get right into it. So starting off first with A, we got Anastasia Beverly Hills. So my top product from Anastasia by far, this was like the easiest one for me to choose, is the Soft Glam palette. What makes this palette so great is that it's a neutral palette with a little bit of a twist. So even though you do have a great range of basic shades in here, from like a matte black, different shades of brown, transition shades, you also have some really beautiful and kind of unique shades in here as well, like these beautiful metallic shades that really just allow you to kind of switch up your look. So that's why I love it, because it's super versatile, very wearable, and I feel like this suits pretty much everybody. So this is definitely my favorite from Anastasia. So next up we have Benefit Cosmetics, and at Benefit, my favorite product is definitely the Precisely My Brow Pencil. This is probably my go-to brow pencil, and it has been for a really long time. What I really love about the Precisely My Brow Pencil is that it's really nice and fine, so you are able to be very precise. Honestly, most brow pencils are kind of like same but different, but this is the one that I always go back to, and it's by far my favorite product from the brand. So next up we have Bite Beauty. Now Bite Beauty is definitely one of my favorite lip product brands. The French press glosses from Bite are by far my favorite products that they have. They kind of have like a thicker, almost gel-like consistency to them, so when they sit on the lips they really smooth over all of the lines, and they're also very glossy. So because they don't settle in the fine lines on your lips, and they're also super glossy, they just make your lips look really luscious and juicy. And the colors that they come in are also gorgeous. They're all different shades of nude. You really can't go wrong with any of them. This one over here is Dirty Chai, one of my favorite more like warm tone nudes, perfect for the fall. I actually just realized that I'm not wearing any lip product on my lips right now, so I might as well put this one on so you guys can see what it looks like. As you can see, it also has some really nice pigment to it, so you could totally wear these on their own. They're just great everyday glosses. Also, they smell like coffee, which is very unique. I have no other lip products in my collection that smell like coffee, and honestly it's a scent that I never knew that I wanted. So next up we have Bobbi Brown. This was very easy for me to choose because the Bobbi Brown Skin Long Wear Weightless Foundation is one of my current favorite foundations. This is in my foundation rotation at the moment. Now this foundation is really awesome, especially if you're looking for something that is lightweight but still has a solid medium coverage to it. I feel like I am able to get both like an everyday very natural look with this product, as well as something a little bit more full coverage if I do build it up. But no matter what I do, I still find that it wears very naturally on the skin, which is like a total must for me when it comes to foundation, and it also wears really well throughout the day, but definitely my favorite product from Bobbi Brown by far. So next up we have Caudalie, which is a skincare brand sold at Sephora, and I chose the Beauty Elixir. This was very easy for me to pick because the Beauty Elixir has been a part of my beauty routine for years now. Like for a very long time. I think I've gone through bottles and bottles of this stuff. So this is pretty much a facial mist. I wouldn't call this a setting spray. This is not a product that I use to make my makeup last longer, but it is a product that I use to refresh my makeup, to refresh my skin. I love using it at the beginning of my skincare routine. I just spray it all over my face before I apply my moisturizer. First of all, it feels really good, it smells really good, and it does kind of add like a boost of hydration to the skin. And this is also a product that I like to use throughout the day to refresh my makeup. So if I feel like my makeup is looking a little bit cakey or just dull and dry, I'll just spray some of this on my face, and I'll kind of just liven everything up a bit and just make my skin look a little bit more glowy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just been a staple in my routine for such a long time. So Love this stuff. So for Charlotte Tilbury, my favorite product is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. For some reason, I lost it. I don't know where it is. It's one of my favorite products. I use it almost every single day, but I don't know where I put it. So I'll put a photo of the product right over here. It's probably the most unique product that Charlotte Tilbury carries. I really have not found anything else from any other brand that compares to the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is a very, very glowy product that can be worn either underneath, on top, or even in place of your foundation. Now, I personally actually like to use this mostly underneath the foundation because I find when applied in very specific points on the face, so on the high points is where I normally would put it, it just adds the most beautiful, like stunning glow from within look to the skin. Now, honestly, for me, this is not something that I would put all over the face because since it is pretty glowy, it can make your skin look oily. So if you're somebody who really likes a nice natural highlighted look, or if you want a product to kind of just, you know, make a foundation look a little bit more glowy, this is a beautiful, beautiful product to layer. A++ product, wish I had it with me, but I don't. Now for Clinique, I was kind of bouncing between two products, the Even Better Foundation and the Cheek Pops, which are these guys over here, but I ultimately decided to go with the Cheek Pops because this is a blush that I use so often. They're definitely part of my like everyday blush rotation. They come in some really beautiful shades. I feel like each one is very wearable no matter what the shade is because they are quite sheer. They're not like a very powdery blush, so you can get anything from a very like subtle blush look to something a little bit more intense depending on how much you apply. And I also love how small and compact they are. They're super easy to travel with. So the Cheek Pops are definitely ones to check out from Clinique. Got another cheek product from Cover FX. This is actually kind of like a newish lineup from the brand, and it's very, very quickly become one of my favorite cheek products. I think I have almost all of the shades. I bought them all. They are called the Monochromatic Blush Duo Matte and Shimmer. So each compact and each color comes with two different blush shades. You have a matte and then more of like a glowy shade right next to it. What I really like about this is the fact that there are two different finishes in the compact. So you are able to create a really beautiful multi-dimensional blush look with just one product. So what I normally like to do is I will put the matte shade on the apple of my cheek, how I would normally apply my blush, and then I'll take a little bit of like the glowy shade and I'll just put that right on the apple of my cheek, and it just adds the most beautiful glow. And because they are monochromatic shades, they complement each other perfectly. The shimmer shade is not shimmery at all. It's really more glowy than anything. So don't worry about having like a cheek full of glitter. These are wonderful. And also I just love the packaging of this. It's very sleek. So next, moving on to Dior, the Backstage Contour Palette is by far my favorite and most used product from the brand. I think that this contour shade right over here is pretty much the only powder contour that I put on my face. I just think that this color gives such a great natural shadow to the face. And when I do want to kind of add a little bit of warmth to my face, I'll mix a little bit of the deeper, warmer shade with the contour shade, and I'll use that also to warm up my skin. And this is by far my fave. So next, moving on to Drunk Elephant, which is another skincare brand sold at Sephora. This is a product that I don't have here with me because I actually finished it and I just haven't had a chance to repurchase it yet. But it is the TLC Framboos Night Serum, which is probably one of my all-time favorite skincare products ever. If I had to recommend one skincare product from Sephora, it would be the Framboos Night Serum. This is a product that I use when I feel like I have a lot of texture going on my face. So if my skin is feeling really dry, if I have a lot of little like under the skin bumps, this is a product that I know when I apply it, it will give me results because it completely gets rid of texture. And that's all you really gotta know about it. So that is by far my favorite skincare product from Drunk Elephant. So next we have Estee Lauder. Now this is probably a favorite for a lot of people. It's the Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This is like a classic. It's an OG foundation. This is a foundation that I personally don't love to wear on its own, but it's a product that works so well mixed in with other foundations. If I ever want to kind of just like increase the coverage or longevity of another foundation, I will mix this in with whatever other foundation I'm working with, and it will do that. And that's what I really love this product for, especially if you are somebody who has more of like an oilier skin type and you're using maybe like a more dewy or emollient foundation, but but you kind of want to make it more suited for your skin type, mixing in a little bit of the Double Wear will do that for you. And the coverage on that stuff is like next level. It's very, very full. The next brand is Farmacy. Farmacy is another skincare brand at Sephora, and by far my favorite product from Farmacy is the Honey Potion Renewing Antioxidant Hydration Mask. I have a drier skin type, as most of you probably know, and when my skin is feeling really, really dry and I feel like I kind of want to give it a boost of hydration, this mask is just so beautiful. Now, when you start to rub this mask into your skin and activate it, it actually starts to warm up. So it's a very kind of like relaxing mask. I do find that it really does give my skin a really nice boost of hydration. I like using this, especially the night before I have an event and I feel like my skin is a little bit dull. I'll pop this on. The next day, my skin is definitely looking a little bit more alive. So this is a wonderful little mask. Fenty was very easy for me to choose. I did not hesitate even a second. The Gloss Bomb from Fenty is the best, probably one of my favorite glosses again. And not just any of the gloss bombs, the original Gloss Bomb. The original Gloss Bomb is one of those glosses that will literally suit anybody, any skin tone, any age. It's one of those colors that kind of just warms up the skin a little bit. It's so nice and flattering. The smell is probably one of the best aspects of it. It kind of smells like candy. It is also so glossy. It's reflective. This is a gloss that will make your lips look juicy. Honestly, this is kind of just like the perfect gloss. If I had to choose one gloss in my whole collection, it would be this one without hesitation. So now we have First Aid Beauty, another skincare brand. First Aid Beauty Cleanser is probably my favorite and most go-to cleansers that I have in my collection. This is one that I will always go back to because it's kind of just like a really basic cleanser. It's not anything too, over the top or crazy. It's very simple. It's really great for sensitive skin. I feel like it does a good job of cleaning my face, and it's just one that I've rebought like over and over and over again, and I constantly have one of these somewhere in my collection. Fresh is another skincare brand. They do have some makeup products, but they're mostly known for their skincare. This was a little bit difficult for me. I really do love a lot of the products from Fresh. The Fresh Soy Face Cleanser is also another one of my favorite cleansers. It's just very light. It's great for sensitive skin. It never makes my skin react. It's just like a great basic cleanser. But as I was thinking about it, I realized that my favorite product though from Fresh has got to be the Rose Hydrating Eye Gel Cream. This is one of my favorite eye creams because even though it is really nice and hydrating, it is a gel-like formula, so it's very lightweight still underneath the eyes, and also smells really nice. Smells like a nice little fresh bouquet of roses. Next, we have Giorgio Armani. Now, I have a foundation product here, but it's probably not the one that you expect. Maybe you thought I was going to talk about the Luminous Silk, but surprise, I'm not. I'm going to be talking about the Maestro Glow Nourishing Fusion Makeup. This is one of the most hydrating and glowy foundations that I have in my collection. It is a serum-like formula. As you can see, it comes with a dropper, and it's kind of oily. So this is a product that I would only recommend if you have dry skin, but this is a foundation that I will go to if my skin is so incredibly dry that no matter what foundation I put on, it looks dry and cakey. This is a product that will always make my skin look hydrated and glowy no matter what the condition is in. Kind of just feels like skincare more than foundations. So next up we have Herbivore, which is another skincare brand. Now I just would like to say that the branding and packaging for Herbivore is so perfect, and just their branding in and of itself makes me want to purchase the product, but their products are also really great. So this is the Emerald Deep Moisture Glow Oil, and this is a product that I love to use underneath my foundation. I really feel like this acts as such a nice base for my foundation, especially for my more matte products when I want to kind of add a little bit of more moisture and glow to them. It kind of adds like a glowy barrier onto my skin. Also like to say I use the Herbivore Emerald Oil on my skin today before applying my makeup, and it's exceptionally glowy. So next we have Hourglass. Now you guys are probably going to be surprised to know that I'm not going to mention the Caution Mascara, which if you've been around on my channel, you know that that is one of my favorite mascaras. I've spoken about it time and time again. I was actually originally going to talk about it, but I realized that even though the Caution Mascara is wonderful and amazing, I really feel like the star product from the brand are the Scattered Light eyeshadows. These eyeshadows are what I will add to an eyeshadow look when I kind of just want to amp it up a notch. Now, I like to categorize glitters in two different categories. There's the obnoxious glitter, which is still really beautiful. They're just chunkier, they're more like in your face. And then there's the mature sparkle, which is where I would categorize the Hourglass Scattered Light. And the mature sparkle glitters pretty much just add the most beautiful wash of sparkle to the lids, but they're very sophisticated. It's not in your face, it's not too much. And honestly, every single time that I wear one of these, I always get a compliment. Next, Huda Beauty. Very easy for me to choose, the Obsessions palettes. There are a couple reasons why I really love these eyeshadow palettes. The quality of the eyeshadows are, first of all, really great. The metallics are very intense. The mattes blend well. I love the color combinations also in each of the palettes. I find that they're fairly unique. You don't really see eyeshadow palettes with these kind of combinations too often. I feel like the only other brand that does stuff like this is ColourPop. I also love how small these are, so they're really great to travel with. They don't take up a lot of room. They have so many different color varieties as well. There's neons, purples, blues, greens, reds, there's neutrals, there's like smokier shades. There's really something for everybody in this eyeshadow range, and I think that they're wonderful. Ilia is a brand that I've only more recently started to try, and I've really fallen in love with a lot of their products. The one product though that I've completely fallen in love with, and I've actually even purchased like 10 backups, I'm not even exaggerating, because I thought for a second that this was gonna be discontinued, so I got really nervous and ordered so much. That's besides the point. The product that really captured my heart though is this guy, and it's the Limitless mascara. There's actually two sides to the mascara wand. One side almost looks like a comb. The comb side of the mascara wand is actually so helpful. I feel like it does such a good job of combing out my lashes, making them look really separated and lengthy, and the other side really does a good job of volumizing. So you really do get kind of the best of both worlds with this product. You get something that will lengthen, separate, and volumize, and this also doesn't smudge. It's also a clean beauty product at Sephora, which is awesome. There aren't many clean beauty mascaras that I've tried that work well, and this is definitely one of the best mascaras that I've ever tried. So good. Okay, if I didn't talk about the It Cosmetics CC cream, then I should be fired from my job, because the It Cosmetics CC cream is probably my original holy grail foundation. For years and years and years and years, the CC cream was the one foundation I did not shut up about. Now, as of late, I haven't really used this quite as much because I've just found other foundations that I've been really enjoying, but this will always hold such a special place in my heart. It's just one of my favorite everyday products. This is a product that I always found just made my skin look flawless while still keeping everything looking really nice and natural. And even though this is a CC cream, don't let that fool you. You get such great coverage out of this stuff. It's just so good. So next we have Josie Maran. I actually don't have the product here with me because I finished it and I just have yet to repurchase it. And the product that I want to recommend from Josie Maran, and that is the Josie Maran SPF. Probably one of my favorite face sunscreens that I found. I'm very sensitive when it comes to SPF for my face. I'm very picky. I need an SPF that's not going to smell like SPF, that's not going to feel like SPF, and that's not going to look like SPF. And the Josie Maran SPF really does hit all of those boxes. And I also find that it sits really well underneath makeup. I don't have to worry about it getting super oily and melting or breaking down my makeup. I use that product pretty much the whole entire summer, which is why I no longer have it. I completely ran out, and it's just awesome. Next we have Kevyn Aucoin, and I wanted to talk about the Glass Glow Face Illuminator. I feel like this is a fairly unique product. Again, I'm kind of a sucker for unique products. Whenever I find something that's, a little bit different from everything else that we see over and over again, it gets me excited, and this is something that really got me excited. This is a product that is just so beautiful, either layered underneath foundation or on top of your foundation. If you put a thin layer of this underneath your foundation, it will just give your skin the most subtle glass skin effect. It will make your skin look a little bit reflective. Or you can layer this just on top of your foundation as an actual highlighter. The color that I have is Prism Rose, although I don't really feel like the color even comes through at all. I almost feel like it goes on clear, but it works well for my skin tone, and I do know that they have a few different shades. Lancome. Now, Lancome has probably one of my favorite lip products, and that is the shakers. Now, the matte shakers and the juicy shakers, I couldn't choose between both of them. I had to kind of combine them into one product because they're both so great. This guy is a matte shaker in the shade Energy Peach, which is probably one of my favorite colors. The shakers from Lancome are another kind of more unique product. They literally look like a little drink shaker, and you shake it up And then you have this sponge tip applicator that you use to apply it. So the Juicy Shaker is kind of like a pigmented oil, so when you apply it to your lips, it's just very sheer, very lightweight. It's a great everyday lip color, but the matte shakers are so great, especially if you're somebody who likes a matte lip look without the feeling of, you know, super dry lips. This does give a matte look to your lips, but it is not drying. So if I am looking for something a little bit more matte to kind of give me like a stain-like effect, this is a product that I will often go to. Now moving on to Laura Mercier, I wanted to mention the Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powders because I feel like this is a pretty versatile product. They do have a few different shades in the Candle Glow collection. They have a super light shade that works great as a highlighter. They also have more deeper shades that actually work great as bronzers or even setting powders. This one over here is in the shade 5, which I personally like to use as a bronzer, but if you do have a deeper skin tone, you could totally use this as like a setting powder. What I really love about the Candle Glow powders and what I feel like is pretty unique to these powders, you don't really see this kind of formula too often, is that all these powders have such an amazing kind of like subtle sheen to them. So when you apply them to your skin, they don't look flat at all. They just give your skin a little bit of a nice glow. They're also very finely milled and soft powders, so they sit really beautifully on the skin, and they're just really great. And again, pretty unique. So Laneige was a little bit difficult because I was going between the Lip Glowy Balm and then the Lip Sleeping Mask. The Lip Glowy Balm is like one of my favorite lip balms. I'm kind of cheating right now. I'm just like slipping that in there. It's just really nice and like glossy looking. Gives a little bit of a tint. But I gotta say my favorite, most go-to product from Laneige is definitely the Lip Sleeping Mask. I'm not gonna go on and on about this. It's very simple. It's a lip balm. What I really like about this lip balm though is that it actually works. It does come in a few different scents and flavors. My favorite is the vanilla one. It's so delicious. It's a really soft vanilla and it's just a really effective lip balm. It's definitely my favorite. It's one that I use the most. So that's that on that. So next we have Lila B. Now this bronzer was the very first product that I discovered from Lila B and I completely fell in love with it like so quickly. This is the B Sunkissed Bronzed Beauty Bronzer. First of all, I need to mention the packaging because the packaging for this is unreal. This is like the heaviest makeup product that I have. It weighs like a solid pound. It's insane. I just love the design of this. It's one of those products that just feels really luxurious. This bronzer is so soft and so finely milled that it just sits so nicely on the skin. It's very natural looking. This is actually my second one that I've ever gotten because I did finish the first one. So that says a lot. Whenever I finish a product, it's like a big stamp of approval automatically. So now for Makeup Forever, this may be a little bit weird that I'm choosing this product as my favorite product for Makeup Forever, which I feel like is one of those brands that has such an extensive range of products. It's the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. This is my ultimate favorite lip liner. This is one of those lip liners that is like the perfect tone where it almost looks like a shadow on the lips. So it's kind of like a rosy brown. It does a really good job of just making my lips look really naturally plump because it almost looks like a natural shadow, but it's not like a gray lip liner. It's not a contour lip liner. There's just something about the undertone and the color of this that just works so well, and this works beautifully with every single nude lipstick that I have. It's just always one of my go-tos, and I just feel like it's one of those lip liners that just makes my lips look massive, and I love that. Next, we have Marc Jacobs. This was difficult because Marc Jacobs really does have probably some of my favorite products in the lineup. It's probably one of my favorite brands, like overall, but I gotta say that the highliners from Marc Jacobs are definitely my favorites. The Marc Jacobs eyeliners are always my go-to. They're the ones that for me last the longest. They're pigmented, they're easy to use, they glide on, and like I said, they last. And they also come in some really fun and great colors. My favorite color is probably the most boring one, which is called Earthquake, and it's probably my favorite brown eyeliner, and I use brown more than I use black because I feel like it's just a little bit softer. All to say, whenever I need an eyeliner, my first instinct is to always go towards a Marc Jacobs eyeliner. Milk makeup. This was difficult. I really didn't know which product I wanted to choose for Milk, but I came to the conclusion that I wanted to include the Hydro Grip Primer because I don't really have any other primers that I've tried that kind of do what this does. This is a primer that works really well for me. I know this isn't something that works well for everybody. I feel like primers are kind of personal, but I've never really found anything that makes my skin feel hydrated but also makes my foundation last longer and really keeps it on my face for a longer period of time, because normally primers that do that, that extend the wear of my foundation, are very drying. They accentuate my dryness and they just don't look great on my skin. This one, however, it's called the Hydro Grip. So it is supposed to kind of keep that hydration there while also locking in your foundation. And it kind of just does just that and it works really well. I love using this, especially for events, because I actually do find that it extends the wear of my foundation. It's really great. NARS is another one of my favorite brands, so this was kind of difficult for me to choose like what my ultimate favorite product was, but I decided to include the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer because this is a product that I always have to have with me in my everyday vanity back here. It's a concealer that I can kind of always depend on. It has some great coverage to it. It's called a soft matte concealer, but it's not drying at all. It's matte in the sense where it doesn't have any like slip to it, which is kind of nice because I do find that because of that, it is more on the long wearing side. I also really like this because not only am I able to use it underneath my eyes, but because it does have that soft matte consistency, I have no problem using it on like a blemish because it doesn't highlight it by being too glowy or emollient. It's my most used Natasha Denona product, and the one that I would probably recommend the most is the Biba palette. This is the neutral palette from Natasha Denona. It's probably one of my most used palettes at the moment. It's kind of replaced my Soft Glam for me at the moment. I almost feel like it's a more extensive version of the Soft Glam palette in a way. But what I love so much about this is that it really has, again, all the neutrals that I could possibly want. Natasha Denona palettes are so expensive that if you are going to purchase one, you kind of want to make sure that you're gonna get some good use out of it. And I feel like this guy, you definitely could get some really good use out of it. I mean, I definitely have. The mattes in here, some of the best mattes on the market, honestly. They blend and apply so well. The metallics I also really like because similar to the Hourglass Scattered Light eyeshadows, they're kind of like mature metallics in that they're not overtly like in your face and intense, but they still have an amazing and beautiful and subtle sheen to them. So really, I like everything about this. For nude sticks, this was very easy for me to choose. I definitely have to say that the Nudies All Over Face colors are by far my favorite products from Nude Sticks. If you're looking for some great cream blushes, the Nudies are beautiful. They have two different formulas, the mattes and then the glowier version. And you don't only have to use them on your cheeks, you could also use them on your lips and on your eyes as well. They are called All Over Face colors for a reason. So these are the best. Ole Henriksen is another skincare brand. My favorite product from the brand is definitely the Wonder Feel Double Cleanser. This is actually one of my favorite makeup removers. Oftentimes makeup removers can dry your skin, it can kind of strip it. This is a product that does not do that because it is a cream. It feels really nice and soothing and hydrating even though you're stripping your makeup off of your face. It does such a good job of dissolving everything, even waterproof mascara or really full coverage and long wearing foundations. You kind of just, you know, like massage it all of your face. You take a wet washcloth and then wipe it all off and it gets rid of like 90% of your makeup. And then I'll just go in with like another cleanser and I'm good to go. Next up we have Way, which is a hair care brand from Jen Atkin. Definitely my favorite is the Rose Hair and Body Oil. This is definitely my favorite hair oil. I really like this because it's pretty lightweight. It's not a super thick oil. I find the other Way hair oil can be sometimes a little bit heavy for my hair. This one isn't quite as heavy and it also smells really nice. I really like this when I want to add a little bit of shine to my hair. I feel like it does a really good job of making it look shiny. So Sephora Collection I feel like is a pretty underrated brand sold at Sephora. It's obviously the Sephora house brand and I feel like they have a lot of products that are kind of like star products, but not a ton of people talk about them. The Micro Smooth Powder, this is 100% comparable to like the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. It's a very similar texture. It is a very finely milled powder. It sits so nicely on the skin. It's very lightweight. It doesn't look heavy. It works well underneath the eyes, works well all over the face. It's just all over really good. Next we have Smashbox, and I wanted to talk about the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. For me personally, I'm not so much like a primer person. The Milk Hydro Grip Primer is like the closest I will get to using, you know, like a typical primer that's supposed to like make your foundation last longer. If I'm not using that, I'm typically just using a moisturizer. This is kind of like the best of both worlds. This is a primer and it's also a moisturizer in one. hence the word primerizer. There is hyaluronic acid in here, which is great. It's a little bit different than your typical moisturizer though, because obviously this does have some properties in it that is supposed to, you know, like increase the longevity of your foundation. It's also a much thinner consistency compared to a moisturizer. If you're somebody like me who doesn't really typically go towards primers because you don't really feel like they really work super well for your skin, and you typically use moisturizers, if you want to take it like one step above, using the Smashbox primerizer is a great product to go to. Next we have Stila. Now this was again another very easy product for me to choose. Now the Stila liquid eyeshadows in all forms are absolutely beautiful. If you are somebody who likes to, you know, add something to your eye look that will give it some intense impact, these eyeshadows are amazing. You could get a really intense glittery or foiled effect with these eyeshadows. They do have a few different formulas now. They have like metallic ones, glittery ones. Now they have like soft suede ones, which are more matte. My personal favorites are the original glitter ones because they just add the most amazing effect to the lids. The Tartelette in Bloom palette is by far my favorite product from Tarte. This is a palette that I've spoken about on my channel for such a long time. It's a palette that I've definitely gotten a lot of good use out of. It's another really, really great neutral palette. That's kind of all I gotta say about it. Also, my voice is getting very tired. Tom Ford. So my favorite product from Tom Ford is definitely the Cream Contour Duo. It's a product that I have mentioned on my channel quite a few times. It's definitely very, very expensive, but it's probably one of my favorite cream bronzers that I have. What I really like about it is that it's quite sheer. If you're looking for more of like a naturally bronzed look, it looks so natural on the skin. It's very easy to use. It's like a cream product that you really can't mess up. The thing is that in the compact, I only really use the bronzer. I never really use the highlighter. I kind of wish they would just come out with just the bronzer, and that way maybe it could be a little bit less expensive, but even so, I'm gonna be buying this for ever and ever. So now moving on to Too Faced. My favorite product from Too Faced is definitely the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is probably my favorite full coverage concealer. For me, it has completely replaced the Shape Tape. I don't remember the last time I used the Tarte Shape Tape because every time I want something very full coverage, I'll go towards this guy. It just works really well. It's kind of all there is to say about it. It's a good full coverage concealer, very good. So for Urban Decay, I was going to mention the Born to Run palette, but last minute, I just made a decision. I'm going to instead say that the Heavy Metal glitter liners are my favorite product from Urban Decay because I really don't use any other glitter eyeliner. These are always my go-tos. What I really love so much about the Heavy Metal glitter eyeliners is that they're pretty versatile. So you could either use them literally as a glitter eyeliner. It's a pretty thin little brush applicator, so you could totally, you know, get a nice thin line with this and use it that way, but I actually really like to use this as kind of like a glitter top coat. So what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of the product on the back of my hand, and then I'll take my finger and just dab it on top of an eye look, and it just adds like the prettiest sparkle to the look, and it's so easy to use because you don't have to go in with a glitter glue, you don't have to make like a huge mess. It's just, you know, all in one nice little tiny little clean package, which is great, especially when it comes to glitter, because glitter could oftentimes be a big pain in the ass, and you don't get any fallout with this either. It's just really easy to use, and they come in the most amazing colors. So this is definitely my favorite product from Urban Decay by far. I can't believe I almost forgot. Now for YSL, these are the cream lip stains. So these are really great because obviously they're stains, so they're very long wearing. They kind of go on really nice and creamy, and as they fade, they just leave like a nice little stain on the lips. I just feel like these wear really well. Sometimes stains could look really patchy and kind of gross by the end of the day. I'm able to continuously layer it throughout the day too without it getting cracky or crusty or gross, and it comes in some really beautiful colors too. So if you're looking for a really long wearing lip product, these are awesome. I feel like I'm mentioning quite a few glosses in today's video, but the Buxom glosses are so great. I mean, they're classics. Such a great go-to gloss. They're very comfortable. They smell really nice, kind of like vanilla peppermint, and they have some really amazing colors. They have quite an extensive range. This shade over here called Celeste is probably one of my favorite glosses that I have because it's the most amazing, like multi-dimensional glittery gloss, and it makes your lips look incredible because there's so much glitter in it, but it doesn't feel gritty when you rub your lips together. I mean, did that not just make my lips look amazing? Like, I love this so much. Pat McGrath. Okay, I actually have another lip liner that I want to talk about. This is kind of similar-ish to the Makeup Forever Artist lip liner. It's actually quite a similar color even, although this one is a little bit more neutral, not as rosy, but I love this lip liner so much. It's another one of my favorite, most go-to like nude lip liners that I have. Either I'll go towards this one or the Makeup Forever. This is very fittingly in the shade Contour, and again, I feel like this is a great color to really contour the lips and make your lips look bigger than they are. The formula is also great. It's very creamy and very long wearing. Oh my god, you guys, we have 3 more products left. I want to cry. I'm so excited because my voice hurts so much right now. Okay, so we have Origins. Origins, obviously another skincare brand. My favorite product from Origins is by far the retexturizing mask with rose clay. This is one of my favorite masks because similar to like the Drunk Elephant from Boost serum, this is a great retexturizing mask. I feel like it does a really good job of kind of smoothing my skin and also detoxing it at the same time because there is clay in here. Very rarely do I find masks make a big difference to my skin. This is one of them though that I feel like actually makes a difference in, like I said, smoothing and just making my skin look really nice and glowy. I also wanted to mention Replica because Replica is a fragrance brand, and I know I didn't mention any fragrances in today's video, and I do love myself a good perfume. And my favorite scent from Replica is by far By the Fireplace. This is one of the most gorgeous fall winter scents. It's one of my go-tos for that time of year, described as burning wood and chestnut, and that's really the perfect way to describe it. It's a very smoky, subtly sweet scent. Oh my god, we made it to the very, very end. This is a Briogeo product. Briogeo is probably one of my favorite hair care brands. I love almost every single product from their lineup, but my ultimate favorite product is actually the Rosarco Milk Leave-In Conditioning Spray. I feel like this makes the biggest difference in my hair. This leave-in conditioning spray smooths my hair like literally nothing else. My hair is very curly and very frizzy, and I notice the biggest difference when I use this and when I don't. When I don't use it, my hair is very frizzy. When I do use it, it completely smooths and just makes my hair so much more manageable. It's amazing, and there's very few, again, hair care products that I feel like make a huge difference in my hair. This is one of them. Oh my god, we did it. I need to not talk now for the rest of the day. Really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to my favorite products from the top 50 brands from Sephora. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in this kind of format. Like I said, I mentioned a few different varieties at the beginning of the video. Let me know what you'd be most interested in seeing. Also, let me know in the comments like some of your favorite products from each of the top 50 brands. If you want to take the time to list out every single one of the products that you love from every single one of these brands, I would love to see it. I think it could be really fun to look through. All right, guys, I'm gonna go now. I can't talk anymore. Bye.